Hey, Brandon, no Jose Iglesias. Is that more shin, quadriceps, or a little of both?
All of the above, and it's a well-deserved day off for him. He'll be available off the bench. He actually wanted to be available off the bench in the second game last night as well. But yeah, I'm giving him a breather today.
Next up, Rich Dubroff. Rich, go ahead.
Hey, Brandon. A lot of people have sort of tortured you with questions over about the Yankees. You know, it's been the Yankees, but there's another team, obviously, in your division. You know, the guys that you're playing tonight. And talking to Brocail earlier today, he said, "Well, I think that we are a couple of years away from being them. They were a couple of years ago what we are now." Do you see that?
Well, I think organizations go in cycles, and we're in year 2 of this, and you know, this is a tough division, and this is a tough division to do what we're doing, and with playing a lot of young players, acquiring players, getting guys off waivers that are playing. What we've done, I feel really good about what we've done here in the last couple of years, and I feel excited about the young players that have come, and I think you're seeing that's what's been exciting, especially these last few weeks. Even though our record hasn't been very good for me the last few weeks, but we're seeing a youth movement a little bit on our team, and you can kind of look toward the future of what we could look like in a couple of years. And I just think that we're taking our lumps a little bit right now, but we are playing excellent baseball teams. And the pitching that we face night in, night out, I think in a week we faced Cole, Tanaka, Cole Hamels, Snell, Glasnow. We're facing number ones across the board a lot. And we're competing like this Rays team. This is a great pitching staff, an extremely balanced lineup that is got a little bit of power. They're athletic. They have movable pieces that they can play all over the place. It's a well put together roster that is challenging to play against because it's hard to score runs. And we play a lot of close games against them, and I feel good about that. I'd love to start winning some of them, but we do play them tight, and we play a lot of close games against the Rays. And hopefully we turn that around and we're on the other side of those games here, the next couple of years.
Next, we'll go to Steve Molesky. Steve, go ahead.
You probably answered this, Brandon, by mentioning the quality of pitching you're facing. But when the Orioles are chasing pitches, is that the biggest factor in this recent stretch of low-scoring games, that there's been a little bit too much of that expanding the zone?
It is, but I also think that we're facing, like I said, we're facing number ones a lot and really, really good bullpens. And we're inexperienced hitters facing, I think early in the year also, I don't think, even though we were getting to some really good starters, I don't think that they were teed up like they are right now, where they're in mid-season form right now. A lot of these guys, Blake Snell yesterday, that's no hit stuff every time out. That's 96, 97, elevated fastball with a plus slider. And that's just going to be tough for any lineup, experienced or not experienced. Tyler Glasnow, if he's on, is throwing 100 miles an hour with weapons beyond that. That is from a 6'6", 6'6" body with a high release. It's just going to be tough. And, we're not facing teams number 5s. We're facing really, really good pitching. And so I do feel like we have a lot of area to improve offensively for sure. We're going to continue to improve as our guys, Ryan, DJ, Cedric, Austin Hayes, these guys start piling up at bats, they're going to improve. But yeah, I think that you got to give some credit to who we're facing also.
Dan Connolly, go ahead.
Brandon, this question is probably best served over the years on an off-the-record situation after one of these things. But since we don't have that luxury, in the next couple of days, we have to turn in our most valuable Oriole ballots. And this is a particular tricky year because it's obviously truncated and And when you look at it, like Santander seemed to be the leader in the clubhouse for all of us. And then when he got hurt, it kind of changed. And you had mentioned about how, Iggy deserved a little bit of a break and stuff. And he probably might be the guy that a lot of us are leaning towards now, although he obviously has been out a decent amount as well. I don't want you to choose between your favorite kids here necessarily, but when you look at this for us, I mean, is there a guy that you think you can look at and say really kind of stood out as your MVO for a year?
You're asking me to choose in front of
I know.
who I like better, Dan.
Do you like your daughters better than your son?
This isn't off the record in the dugout conversation that we can't have in 2020.
Exactly.
How do I answer that?
All right, then blow it off. Okay, let me ask you another way where you're not choosing between children.
Let me put it this way. I think Santander was, while the time that he was here was definitely that choice. Now it's up to you if you feel like that that earned a full year of consideration.
Gotcha.
Is that fair?
Yeah. Is there one guy? Is there one person you would look at that said from the beginning to all the way through? Because he's been healthy. That is because again we're kind of with Iglesias as well on that. Is there one person you look through and say this guy was consistent all the way through for us?
Well, it's hard to argue against Jose Iglesias and what he has meant to us when he's playing, and the year that he's had has been phenomenal. So I don't think you can go wrong with either one of those.
One follow-up: do you like your son better than your daughters?
Sometimes.
Next, we'll go to Melanie Newman. Melanie, go ahead.
Brandon, we've been reflecting back on 1970 today, and Boog Powell said at one point that Earl Weaver, and we know the reputation he had, but he was an excellent judgment of personality when it came to who he had in his clubhouse. We've had that discussion with you a lot about how much you've had on your plate just with different personal issues and backgrounds going on with your players this year. Can you speak to what that means to really be able to work with something that's not tangible through statistics?
Well, yeah, I think that managing and coaching, especially at this level, is a lot more than putting on a bunt play. There's so much that happens in your office. There's so much that happens in the clubhouse. There's so many conversations that you have because you are wearing different hats all the time of really getting to know your players, and we do care about our players a ton, and they're the ones that matter for us. And so to be there for them in any capacity, I think is very important, especially in today's day. So yeah, a lot of things come I have different issues every day in my office, and some are easy, some are hard, some are tough. This year has been pretty taxing, I think, for everybody, and I think that it's just we've just had to deal with a lot. Players, coaches, everybody has had to deal with a lot, and I feel really good about how we have handled all the different issues that have come our way on and off the field. So I think that we have a nice culture here going forward.
Nathan Ruiz.
I'm going to follow up with Dan's question. I want to clarify that I said sometimes yes, sometimes no about my son and my daughter. It depends on the day, so I don't offend anybody. But I love them immensely, both the same. The second is, how about our medical staff for the MVP of 2020? Brian Ebel and company, they have been the MVPs.
Awesome. Next, we'll go to Nathan Ruiz.
Brandon, we've talked a lot about the young guys. I know a big talking point early in the season was that you guys had a much more veteran rotation, and that obviously has changed with the exception of Alex. How valuable is his place in this rotation given the change you've had around him?
Well, he's the one guy that's pitched in this division for a while, so he knows he knows the teams. He's been in, he's really the only one in our pitching staff that has actually pitched in real big games and pitched in postseason type environments. So to have him there as a guy with some experience, a guy that's done it before, a guy that's had success in the big leagues, somebody for them to lean on, for somebody that, because he's had some really good years. And we just don't have that type of experience in our clubhouse, especially on our pitching staff.
Got one final question from Jeff Arnold. Jeff, go ahead.
Hey, Brandon. In terms of what you're seeing in Alberto's at bats right now, what have you kind of been observing from just how he's gone about things recently?
I thought it'd been better the last couple of days. I think it's and not just because he hit a homer and the double the other day. I thought that he, Bert's going to swing, and Bert's going to swing a lot, but Bert, when he's going well, is not missing the pitches that he can hit. And I feel like there were, when he was kind of scuffling there for a few weeks, and talking with him also, he was discouraged that the balls that he can drive, he was missing them. And so it was nice to see him be on time and hit the breaking ball for a homer last night, get the double in the corner the other day. It was a big hit for us. So yeah, we know that he's going to swing the bat. He's not going to walk much. So I think that it's really important he's on time and able to handle pitches that he can drive, and he's done that better the last couple of days.